All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this is where I show you a little experiment on how our Adwell product is able to break down starch and also able to work on fats and oil in our body, in our food, to allow us to fully digest them and use them properly in our system, and the unwanted parts will get out of our system without clogging up our system or giving us any other issues. All right, so here we have already prepared starch. Okay, so this will represent your fufu, your bangkun, your eba, all the starchy foods you can think about that we eat. And in our part of the world, this is kind of staple, right? This is what we often eat in most of our diet. Now, there's nothing wrong with eating starch. There's nothing wrong with eating proteins. There's nothing wrong with eating fats and oil. Our bodies need them. However, the problem that comes with it is that if they are not able to properly break down when they get into our system, that is where they cause problems, okay? And I'm going to show you how our natural enzyme product called Adwelle is able to help work on these starch and fats and oils to allow our bodies to fully benefit from it. So, as you have seen, once again, let me show you how thick it is, okay? So you can see how very thick this is. This is potato starch I'm using for this particular experiment, okay? And all I'm going to do is I'm going to just add our Adwelle product, which, like I mentioned to you, is powdered. Okay, so this is powdered. Okay, I'm not mixing it with any water or anything, just dry powder. Just adding just one sachet, and all I'm going to do is gradually just mix it up, okay, so that it goes to all the parts. Now, the mixing doesn't do anything much, it's just to help the enzyme get to all the parts. And this actually happens also in our body, okay? So we have bowel movements that allow our food to be mixed up with other things in our stomachs and in our intestines to help the food break down properly so that our bodies can get the nutrition. And as I'm doing this, it's not been more than a minute, but already I can feel that the food is getting easy. It's beginning to get easy to stir because it's actually beginning to work on it. And that's how active our enzymes are. These are very, very active enzymes, as you can see. Remember how thick it was before? Okay? And it's not the stirring that's doing anything, all right? It's actually the enzyme, which is the amylase enzyme in our Adwelle product, that is actually working on it, and it's so active. It actually breaks down your starch in a matter of minutes, okay? And when I leave this alone and let it sit for a little while, you see what will actually happen. So let's move on to our experiment on fat and oil. And here I have some warm water representing our blood, okay? All right, so this is basically water, and this is some cooking oil that we use. So this is, of course, this is healthy, okay? But again, when it gets into our system, it must break down and remove all the saturated fat and allow our bodies to be able to assimilate it easy. And this is what we are going to see how Adwelle works on it. So I'm just going to pour some of the oil on top of the water, and you know what will happen. Of course, the oil will always settle at the top. Oil and water cannot mix. All right. So that is that. A lot of oil. All right. And if I should even take a spoon and stir this up, the oil will come back to the surface. Now, again, all I'm going to do is take one sachet of Adwelle. Okay, and I'm going to rip it at the top and gently pour, okay, on the surface of the oil. Now remember, oil has a surface tension that if you just put some powdery stuff gently on it, it's going to prevent it from getting down. But because this product has an enzyme called lipase Okay, it's able to help break it down, and it's actually going to go all the way down to the bottom, breaking down the fat and oil. And you can already see something happening to it. All right, so I'm not in any way disturbing this. Okay, but you can already see, let me get it up close to the camera, and you can already see something happening. Okay, and that is the activity of the lipase enzyme on the fat. You can see how fast this is working. All right, and this is what will allow the oil to fully digest, and what will remain is what is actually absorbable to your cells and can actually be used by your body to provide you with all the needed benefits, like warming up your body and all that. All right, now if you don't have enzymes with your food, basically this process becomes long, and most often what happens is that the fat is not properly digested, and it begins to line up your veins and arteries and begin to close the gaps, and that's where you begin to have pressure, begin to give you other cardiovascular disease and all these things. But this is a very natural way to help your body stay healthy and prevent all these unwanted issues. So I can see that the activity is still going on. This is what Adwelle does, and by the time it's done, you can actually tell by the color and texture of the oil that the oil is actually finer, it's better, and it's not as greasy as before. All right, so this is how effective our Adwelle product is, and it works so well, it works so effectively. We are having so many testimonies about this, and I encourage you, this is a product that should be on every dining table. Right after you eat any heavy meal, this is a good way to take off your system. Just take it, especially for those of you who cannot help eating late at night, okay, and you feel bloated the next day and all that, having all kinds of gastro issues. Once you eat your food, just take one sachet about 15 minutes after you've eaten your food, and I'm telling you, you feel so great, and I'm sure you thank me for it. So let's now come back. It's just been a few minutes, but let's watch what has literally happened to our starch. Okay, so watch this. It's just been a few minutes. Watch what has happened. Can you see that? So it's broken it down so effectively that the starch is almost separated from the water. You can see that this is what remains, and this is what your body can literally absorb. You remember, your body is about 70% water, and your cells are so small. They don't eat banku, they don't eat fufu, they don't eat the chicken. Okay, they eat the broken down fat, they eat the broken down starch, they eat the broken down protein. And this is what you need naturally to help your body to break down these foods so that your body can get the nutrients out of them. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this is what I have for you. I hope you're excited. I'm looking forward to hearing your testimonies as you begin to use the product. Thank you, stay blessed, and God richly bless you.